It's hard to believe that after 11 years, we are now only 46 days away from the early release of College Football 25. And we've got a lot more information to go over today as EA dropped their gameplay trailer and a lengthy article on their website that we're going to go through today. There's a lot here. I don't want to go word for word through everything because it'll take a long time. But I am starting to get pretty excited now for the game. There's a lot of features in here I wasn't expecting and a lot that I'm looking forward to. Now, I was not one of the creators that went down to Orlando to play the game, so I can't really comment on the feel of anything, if it feels similar to Madden. From what it seems, creators that went down there enjoyed the game a lot and had a lot of nice things to say about it, including some creators that are often critical of games like Madden. In addition, some outlets were able to get some information on modes like Dynasty and Road to Glory, but there isn't a lot to really dive into there, and there will be future deep dives EA puts out, so I'll just wait for Dynasty and Road to Glory talk until we get the deeper information. On to EA's deep dive article now. Here are the pillars that EA has built this game on. All 22 to highlight the importance of individual players and their unique abilities. 134 ways to play, so schools have their identities and teams feel different from one to the next. And then stories of Saturday. First up here, we've got stick work. From the start, one of our primary objectives was to capture the authenticity and wide open gameplay of college football. Essentially here, they talk about just trying to have different running styles for different archetypes of ball carriers and trying to make the game feel fun going north and south, but also east and west. I always felt that NCAA games in the past felt fun to play with ball carriers and especially running backs, so I expect that to be an emphasis. But on to something now with a lot more detail that I wasn't expecting and I really hope makes its way to Madden: wear and tear. I thought we were on the way there with the progressive fatigue in Madden. No, that's not even close. This is more what I've been looking for. Wear and tear is a brand new and unique damage system that adds a whole new layer of depth and strategy to your gameplay and roster management. Wear and tear is designed to simulate the real-world effects of fatigue and damage on a player's performance. It operates on a play-to-play and game-to-game basis. If your quarterback has thrown the ball 40 times in a game and has taken some shots, don't expect him to be at 100% the following week. Wear and tear is on for all 22 players on the field. Every limb and body part of a player is linked with unique attributes. For instance, if your quarterback's throwing arm receives a significant hit, you'll notice a decrease in your throw power and accuracy. This is the exact thing I've been asking for a very long time. Similarly, damage to the legs will impact a player's change of direction and acceleration, making movement feel slower. Each body part degrades at a different rate, and the player's toughness rating plays a critical role into how much damage is applied on a given hit. The more damaged a part is, the higher the chance and severity of injury. We haven't really seen anything like this in a football game since NFL head coach 09. And this is one of those things I've wanted so badly in franchise and Dynasty. This will be one of those things I'm most excited to check out with the full game. But I know that a lot has to go into it. Your animations have to make sense. You have to be able to actually track hits and where body parts are receiving that kind of damage. So hopefully it's intuitive enough so when you see animations and you see hits, you can understand why certain things are happening. And this has to really come together, or I don't think a lot of people are going to like this feature if it seems like the effects and the animations don't match. Recovery is also a critical part of this feature. Players will regain health when they are not on the field, during timeouts, at halftime, and between weeks. I love the fact that it's, of course, game to game. You need that for a feature like this to really make sense, but also in that individual game. Having a reason to spend a first half timeout when you might not feel the need, or to actually sub a player out for a drive or so a player can recover. I like doing that stuff for fun. I can't wait to have better reasons to do it. Be cautious of your player's workload. The worse a body part is damaged, the slower it recovers. A player can only recover a limited amount of damage during a single game. I definitely like the sound of that. Here is a screenshot that shows what the wear and tear can look like for a player. We have risk of injury and to what degree that is. And then which body parts are being effective, to what degree those are. This is great stuff. They've added some wear and tear, get up animations, so when a player is banged up, you'll see different animations for various body parts depending on their severity. You can manage your player's wear and tear in the Dynasty player card. And I saw pre-play, there are new options where you can check out some new things with information, and wear and tear is one of those options. With the introduction of wear and tear, fatigue has also been completely overhauled. Whereas wear and tear accounts for physical impacts, fatigue is primarily a conditioning feature designed to provide more realistic snap counts at the college level. Let's say a running back gets 3 consecutive carries for positive yards, you may notice them huffing and puffing in pre-play. That's been in Madden, where you can see a player is fatigued. On a subsequent carry, they'll likely come out of the game. However, recovery has been changed to where it'll likely be only a single play, so they can catch their breath and get back onto the field. They hopefully have better auto subs then, if this is going to really work. Auto subs have been busted in Madden for a long time. They're not reliable. You don't get good feedback on a player's fatigue and how to actually use the auto sub features. The fatigue has also been a problem where players will start jogging instead of running, and that kind of throws everything out the door. I talk a lot to Matt 10. He loves to mess with fatigue and has different things he's looking for, but once you have players jogging instead of running, you got to throw it out. So I really hope that this is different than Madden and kind of redone, because auto subs, oddly enough, haven't been very good since the days of NCAA 14. A proper wear and tear system has been high on my priority list for games like Madden for a long time, and hopefully this is done well, because I have really been waiting for something like this. On to the option game. The first thing we targeted was to make the mechanic mirror the real-life quarterback and running back exchange. In an actual game, the quarterback places the ball in the running back's belly with the intent he's going to hand it off. However, if the read key comes down, he pulls the ball. That is now replicated in the game with the A or X button functioning as a pull or keep button. The changes to the pull mechanic simplifies your reads while also making RPOs much more usable. If you don't touch anything, the quarterback will simply hand the ball off. I like this because the way we've had options run in the past, you snap the ball and keep that held down, and holding it down is what gives the ball to the running back. So in this case, you don't have to hit anything to hand it off. You just press a button to keep it, or the receiver icon if it's an RPO and you want to throw the ball instead. They've also made adjustments to differentiate pitch strength. Now a quick tap will execute a quick pitch, while holding down L1 or LB, your pitch button, will result in a strong pitch. The quick tap is faster and useful in tight spots, however, it might not be as accurate. So sometimes if you pitch the ball behind a running back, he has to adjust, it ruins his momentum, and impacts if he can get upfield fast enough. And if you hold it down, it's going to be a stronger, higher velocity pitch, but it takes more time. That animation takes longer. They've also brought back fake pitching, which I'm not sure I've really played a college game before that had fake pitching. I don't recall that. I didn't get into the series heavily until NCAA 12. I had a later start than many of you. So I've really only played like 3 college football games before. New control around when the quarterback will branch out of option movement has been added as well. If you hold the right trigger or R2 when you're a couple yards past the line of scrimmage, you'll branch into standard ball carrier movement. Use this when you've got the edge to decide to try and take it to the crib with the quarterback. We've also added a range of new animations, including a comprehensive set of pitch animations and pitch catches. We've also introduced new pitch out of tackle animations in this year's title. With these features, they've then updated the defense as well. New AI logic has been added for the read and pitch keys, including new read key animations. Read keys now consider more realistic context when deciding to crash or stay home. For instance, they're more likely to stay home and play the quarterback when on the wide hash marks. Conversely, when the offense is close to the first down, they'll play the dive back more often. Pitch keys now exhibit more varied behavior with the ability to bluff whether they're playing the quarterback or running back. We've introduced new coach adjustments as well. Rather than a single option defense, you can now instruct your read and pitch keys separately on how to defend. That all sounds good to me. I'm pretty excited as well about this next one, and this has to do with coverage disguising. So when you're calling your play, use the right stick while in formation view to command your secondary to position in a range of disguised looks. This can range from high pressure cover 0 to a backed off cover 4 look. I'm excited to check this out because usually in Madden, the safeties are just giving away play calls, and you can run cover 3 out of a cover 2 look and a lot of different things, but in Madden in the past, it's been specific plays that are like cover 2, show 3, or cover 3, show 2, or different cover 2 inverts. But the ability to have a little more control over how you disguise is awesome. Next, we have abilities, and when I first saw abilities would be in the game, wasn't excited about that. Not a huge fan of how they've been implemented into Madden. These, though, the ones they're showing seem like the kind of abilities that I'd be on board with. So they've introduced 80 abilities into the game, and a lot of them are new to the football gaming space, they say. These abilities are purely situational boosts, and there are no guarantees. That sounds good to me because I really don't like things like Patrick Mahomes' bazooka ability, like the stuff that would make more sense in an NFL blitz game than a Madden game. But when we look at the abilities here, for instance, we have the workhorse ability. There are 4 tiers within that ability, and at the lowest level, you get a slight protection from wear and tear effects when colliding with other players, and the higher you are in that workhorse ability, the more protection you get from those hits. And I think those kinds of abilities will add more differentiation between players, and these are the kinds of abilities sports games should lean on more. Downhill is below workhorse, slightly more broken tackles after reaching max speed, and then it levels up from there. More broken tackles at silver, even more than that at gold. I like to see all the abilities that are in the game. We only have a handful they're showing so far, but I don't want to see stuff like CPU can't catch interceptions or whatever, like the one Aaron Rodgers had. They don't mention like zone abilities or X Factor, which that's very welcome to leave that stuff in Madden and maybe start scaling that back. There are physical and mental abilities, and within those abilities, there are the 4 tiers those players can be. And the most a player can have at any time is 5 physical and 3 mental abilities. The abilities a player can have is solely determined by their archetype, the physical abilities. Mental abilities are dictated by the position. So we get a screenshot here of Travis Hunter. Nice screen. We see all of his abilities, 3 mental and 5 physical. Sure hands, 50-50. You can start to see, okay, layout is probably higher catch chance on diving plays or whatever. Recoup is probably faster stamina recharge between or when he's off the field. And then we've also got on the left, fan favorite, increased composure gains at home, best friend, quarterback composure gain on a first down catch, and clear-headed, protection from composure loss. Composure is something we're going to get into soon. That's kind of a hot and cold system, done better than I've seen EA try in the past, hopefully. When creating abilities, we kept gameplay balance at the forefront of our development. A perfect example of this is the new Pocket Shield ability. This progressively makes offensive linemen hold blocks better on standard pass plays. However, even at the Platinum tier, This doesn't apply if the distance to the first down is more than 10 yards. You have to stay on schedule. It's still possible for a lineman to even lose at Platinum tier. Though this will be expanded upon later in the upcoming Dynasty Deep Dive, we have introduced coach abilities with gameplay effects. These abilities will have a significant impact on major features such as confidence and composure, home field advantage, and play styles. Next up, pre-snap recognition. Can you see everything at the line of scrimmage like an experienced senior? What about the freshman playing on the road in front of 100,000 screaming fans? We have introduced a new pre-snap recognition feature designed to bring a level of clarity to the line of scrimmage that reflects the experience level of the player controlling the game. For instance, a freshman player may not be able to identify who is coming to blitz or what the shell is at the line of scrimmage compared to a seasoned senior. Our new system also takes into account player and coach abilities, home field advantage, and the new coverage shells. What ability do I need? The field general ability is what brings all of this together, and here's how it works. At the bronze tier, this is for quarterbacks, by the way, blitzers are highlighted, but only after the snap. This gives players a basic level of awareness, but requires them to react quickly. At the silver tier, players can spot blitzers before the snap, but only if they're close to the line of scrimmage and only for a brief moment. This gives players a slight edge and allows them to plan their moves with a bit more foresight. At gold, it unveils the coverage shell momentarily, giving players a glimpse into the defensive strategy. At platinum, this allows players to see even disguised shells, albeit briefly. This is designed to ensure that the defensive player can make strategic adjustments in response. The pre-snap recognition feature adds a new dimension to gameplay, rewarding players who can quickly analyze and adapt to the evolving game situation on the field. So, you're going to get some information here pre-snap. I don't think I love this feature. You know, I think a lot of this can just come with experience as you start to identify, coverages, and then when players are showing blitz and start to piece things together. But I guess I don't hate the idea of, having some information given to players based on the quality of the quarterback and their field general ability. I think especially for maybe newer players, this will be a really nice feature. Next up, we have confidence and composure. Basically, they say it's not just about skill, it's about who maintains their composure in high-pressure situations. This is about moment-to-moment gameplay reflecting real-life ups and downs as each play unfolds. Players can get hot or cold depending on the outcome of each play. Experience plays a critical role in confidence and composure. A freshman player will have a more volatile swing compared to seasoned seniors. Events such as scoring touchdowns can lift the morale of your entire team, while individual achievements such as a pass breakup can significantly boost the composure of the player who made the big play. It's important to note that composure is heavily individualized, driven by a player's archetype. For instance, when your player starts to cook, a scrambling quarterback will have improved ball security, while a field general will benefit from improved throw accuracy. Additionally, players can have unique mental abilities that influence their composure. These abilities can even affect teammates for that position group. Consider the Legion ability, which increases the confidence of other DBs when that player gets an interception. Take note, these mental abilities are lost anytime a player goes cold, making the management of confidence and composure even more essential. I definitely like the idea of this composure system. I think that it's a lot more interesting when it goes beyond just player ratings and you look at the kind of form a player is in. I think about playing MLB The Show and I'm having, a bad season with a good player because that just happens. I wonder if this is going to carry over from week to week, but they don't really mention it here. It might just be on a single game basis. So there's a lot more information and some new systems at play, and they have the new coach vision system to help out with that. So you'll notice you can adjust things with the left stick, like your defensive alignment and various options there. But now with the right stick, you can look at the composure and how that's looking for your team, the matchups for your wide receivers, wear and tear is there as well, and then blocking You're able to check that to look at the blocking assignments, and so you understand, maybe the weak points of your certain alignment there for that play, maybe a spot you've got to pay a little extra attention to after the snap. Love the idea of the blocking so you know each player's responsibility. Home field advantage. Firstly, we aim to pay off and differentiate the top environments in college football. This differentiation involved two core elements, audio and in-game modifiers. Modifiers are effects that disrupt your gameplay both pre and post snap. The squiggly lines, we've seen those before, play art appearing incorrectly, audibles and hot routes not being communicated as effectively, receiver icons fading in and out during crucial moments. Next, we considered the critical elements of confidence, composure, and player experience. We wanted to ensure that these elements were factored into how much the hostile environment impacted you both pre and post snap, allowing for a more immersive experience and another layer of strategy. They're paying homage to the classic 06 version of the game, introducing a similar screen shake and stadium pulse meter. That's pretty cool. You can tell the crowd to get louder, and the audio team helped bring home field advantage to life with their new stadium mixes. I don't think that in the past, games like Madden have really captured atmosphere very well. That has seemed to be an emphasis with this game, and I'm really hoping they deliver because the atmosphere is a huge part of the college football experience. It's also important to note that home field advantage only impacts the visiting team. The louder the crowd gets, the higher the modifier and composure hits. This is designed to accurately reflect real-life dynamics of playing in a hostile environment. Pre-play controls. Hot routes have been revamped. There are 12 unique hot routes, and one is the new Bang 8 route, which is a skinny post, and a nice addition that hasn't really been a hot route, unless I missed it at some point, but the entire route tree is readily available without the need of an ability. Defensively, the risk factor associated with run commit has been toned down. Traditionally, the risk was conceding a touchdown because they just have everybody run towards the line of scrimmage. Now, if you run commit, that's only going to affect the players that are in the box. So your corners shouldn't just be allowing easy touchdowns. Lastly, they've introduced custom stems, and this kind of takes the hot route, smart route to the next level, where you can press and hold L1 or LB to adjust routes either in 1 yard increments or 5. So if you want to have a player maybe run their route a little bit differently, depending on how the defense lines up, now there's more control for that. Next up, we've got revamped passing. They have increased the variance of left stick pass lead intent, changed the inaccuracy mislocations, and overhauled passing trajectories. You'll notice there is a throwing meter. I believe it's similar to the one in Madden. I just don't use it, and I haven't really explored it. I'll probably try it, though, in this game. The biggest change you will feel immediately is how they've evolved the concept of throw power. Now, throw power doesn't just refer to the distance of the throw, but how hard you can throw it. For years, players have been able to hold a bullet pass with little to no consequence. However, in this new system, the distance of the throw and the quarterback's attributes and abilities will affect the accuracy of a bullet, potentially resulting in accuracy penalties. I throw a lot of inaccurate bullets in Madden these days. On the start of a pass, you'll notice 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red. The sizes of these sections depend on your quarterback's attributes, abilities, and throw distance. So that's going to be basically your accuracy meter. Quarterbacks with weaker arms or lower accuracy also have larger red sections, by the way. We have made significant enhancements to the pump fake mechanic. Now when you're playing with a pass meter, the meter will appear over the receiver you are pump faking to. It's no longer necessary for receivers to execute a double move for defenders to react in that direction. We have worked on improving the defender's reaction to the pump fake in terms of the angle they take. That'll be fun, because I haven't really messed around a lot with pump fakes. I sometimes do one on accident in Madden, but manipulating the defense through pump fakes could be fun if it's done correctly. Introducing the switch stick. This is an interesting feature. So when you're lurking in pass coverage, you can flick the right stick to identify what player you want to switch to. So you have a little more precise control, and then you can adjust your user, switch players, and try to make plays. Also, if you get caught on the D line when you're making adjustments and you want to adjust quicker to who you want to actually control, you can press the left stick and the B or circle buttons to switch directionally. And then the hit stick is still, the old hit stick that we know. Once the ball is past the line of scrimmage, the right stick is the hit stick again. Playbooks and team play style. This year, over 1,500 new plays, 50 formations, and 134 team playbooks have been created. College Football 25 also includes 10 non-team playbooks with a variety of play styles like air raid, multiple, pistol, power spread. They've added a new type of trick play in this game, the DIY reverse, where you'll decide to hand it off to your teammate or keep the ball on a reverse sequence. That introduces exciting plays like the halfback direct DIY reverse. The game action picks up with the addition of trick plays, including the double pass, reverse, reverse pass, and reverse flea flicker. Really excited to try these out. I feel like I have not gotten to mess with trick plays in a very long time. A new glance RPO has been added, giving players the ability to read a safety to the side of the glance route, which is a short post. This year's game is filled with RPO plays. Consequently, we recognize the need to enhance the defense's ability to counter them. In the majority of defensive alignments, defenders who are positioned away from the run action will prioritize their pass responsibilities. Additionally, defenders have been designed to be more aggressive in fending off blocks from incoming receivers. On top of that, run-fit defenders are now capable of responding to the run action more rapidly, enable them to come downhill and make the stop. Included in the new formations, they have these extremely wide splits that some of the more wide open offenses like to run, and I'm excited to see how all these offenses are represented in the game. I'm really looking forward to that. They've added the flex bone option offense as well, with plays like triple option, midline, rocket toss, counter option, zone dive. And on defense, you've got the 3-2-6, 3-4, 3-4 multiple, 3-3-5, 3-3-5 tight, 4-2-5, 4-3, 4-3 multiple, and multiple. For the tempo game, they wanted to replicate that quick-paced nature of college football, and they've done that with no huddle and turbo tempos. No huddle has players rush back to the line, offering the traditional tempo option on Y or triangle. Although there is no huddle, audibles to plays within your personnel group are still possible. Meanwhile, turbo is more rapid. It's a rush to the line style of play, activated by pressing square or X post-play. Think back to the blur offense days at Oregon. You are essentially trading the ability to hot route and audible at the line of scrimmage for the advantage of the defense not being set and their defensive line being slower off the ball. For this to be effective, you need to snap the ball within the early stages of the play clock. If you want to define this as your style of play, you can turn this setting on in your coach adjustment settings. With these new controls, the spike function has been incorporated into the turbo tempo. AI teams now exhibit distinctive identities in their tempo usage. Teams like Oklahoma adopt an up-tempo strategy for most of the game, possibly calling for a shot play after securing a first down in certain areas of the field at a fast pace. Conversely, teams like Michigan may only resort to this move following a significant play to jumpstart the offense when losing. In relation to clock management, AI decision-making regarding timeout usage has also undergone substantial revision to more accurately mirror the strategic decision-making of real-life coaches. Both players and the AI can now initiate a spike from any alignment. That is great. In situations where the player or AI are about to audible, players will glance towards the sidelines, looking at the play call holders on both offense and defense. If the defense is caught looking to the sideline, they will be slower to get off the ball. I also appreciate this. The walk to the line is back, and officials are spotting the ball. So I'm thinking that means when you call plays, it doesn't just bring you right to the line of scrimmage, and it runs time off the play clock. I like the walk up to the line, and you need time to scan the defense and do things anyway, so I was never a fan of them trying to shave those seconds off and try to speed up the game while kind of impacting that flow. We're not done yet. Real-time coaching. Making its debut in this year's edition, real-time coaching is a feature that is an adaptive coaching engine designed to authentically enhance offensive and defensive CPU gameplay. In this RTC engine, coaching aggressiveness possesses unique adaptive adjustment levels. This means that different coaches will react and adapt differently to successful run or pass games, creating a more authentic, dynamic, and unpredictable game environment. This could be pretty cool if it's done well. I've wanted to see more differentiation in coach tactics and for coaches to have more personality. Additionally, the AI now has access to the full range of adjustments just like a human player would make. As a result, you can expect to see teams employ an array of adjustments such as shade techniques, showing blitz, run committing, QB contain, or spying. The AI will also recognize and adapt to your offensive personnel. If you're dominating a team with the inside zone out of 11 personnel, you'll notice them tweak their D-line, providing a different look to try and alter your play call. If you're having significant success on the ground, you may find some teams loading the box earlier than others. Furthermore, the AI is designed to be aware of your players' ratings and abilities. If you have an elite wideout, some teams might double him from the jump or match him with their top corner. This is an example of the best on best matchup strategy enabled by RTC. The defensive AI is also capable of disguising coverage, adding a layer of challenge. Situational adjustments are another key feature of this new engine. Despite being in its first year, this engine significantly enhances pre-snap adjustment chess matches. For example, in scenarios where you're inside the 10 with man coverage, expect to see more press and inside shade technique, forcing the ball out and over the top. Another example is when the opposition is leading by 3 scores late in the game. In this case, you'll notice them keeping the ball inside and tackling conservatively to keep the clock ticking. In conclusion, this is just the first year of the implementation of this foundational feature. The groundwork for the ultimate strategic experience has been laid. I'm excited to see this as well. It's another thing where it's like, man, is this going to be in Madden? Because there are a lot of features here that if they're in College Football 25 and not Madden, why would I want to play Madden? On we go to the trenches now. A new pass protection mechanic has been added which provides 6 pass protection targeting schemes. These schemes allow players to have increased control over matchups. Through user interface matchup lines, players can now see who is targeting who, and indicators will show unblocked defenders. Additionally, the pocket formation has been improved to enhance the overall gameplay. To maintain the flow of momentum and blocking interactions, 400 animations have been added. These animations not only cover open field blocking, but extend to pass blocking and run blocking, point of attack, and engagements. The pass rush and run-stopping power of the defense has also seen a significant upgrade. The ability for pass rushers to play more pass rush moves and more often has been increased. This improvement is backed with new animations. Similarly, defenders now have increased ability to play more shed moves in the run game, also supported with new animations. Another key focus was the targeting systems for fundamental blocking schemes, such as inside and outside zone. The aim is to increase a user's ability to predict the outcome of targeting and be confident that the defenders who need to get picked up will be targeted. This is one of those that's very much a wait and see because I don't think any of these EA games have ever been impressive in the trenches. There's often, not great pocket formation, not a great representation of momentum and pushing players off the line of scrimmage. And I feel like there's also just a variety of missed blocks that don't make any sense. I really hope that this is a significant improvement, because even recent editions of Madden have had a lot of frustration. Next, we got rain effects. Throwing or handling a wet football is challenging. We've introduced several changes to gameplay to make it more immersive and realistic. Harsh weather conditions affect the movement of your players. It's challenging to plant and cut in these conditions and will be the first thing you feel. The passing game has an impact under harsh weather as well. Players will notice wobbly passes, impacted pass accuracy, and throw power are some of the other gameplay elements. The chances of increased drops and fumbles also rise under adverse weather conditions. The ball becomes slippery and harder to hold on to, increasing the risk of turnovers. This aspect means that players will have to be extra cautious when handling the ball using the RB or R1 cover ball mechanic. This is not a one-way street, however. Weather will also make base, wrap, and diving tackling more challenging as well. Weather impacts special teams. You will feel hits to your kick power and accuracy. Kicking the ball in heavy rain or snow can drastically alter its trajectory and distance, making field goals and punts a challenging task. What I'm wondering here, 1, will wind affect throwing even when there isn't rain? I doubt it because we've never seen that before. Next, will snow actually look good? Because it looks terrible in Madden. Next up, the little things you may have noticed in the trailer. 1-foot sideline catch animations. Those are possession catches. New walk to the line animations have been added. Now all players on each side of the ball walk to the line following a play call. Can't believe that has to be a bullet point. Defensive pursuit has been refreshed to represent the wide range of player abilities in real life to track the ball carrier in space. A player's pursuit rating is key in this aspect. Playmaker, a fan favorite, the playmaker mechanic, right stick on pass plays has been revamped to increase responsiveness and control. Play action, when called in run situations such as first down or less than 3 yards to go, the effect is now amplified. And then they've introduced a new kick meter, and I'm pretty sure that there's been past games with this meter. But basically, it starts off a left to right accuracy meter and then the vertical power meter. What I'm most curious about is if this will actually introduce significant challenge to kicking. For those that have played these games for a long time, you probably don't miss very often, and plenty of kicks offer little to no drama. And for years, I've just wanted the option to turn user kicking off. Just let me hit a button and the player ratings kick. I'd love that feature. But we have a new kick meter. Doesn't seem like it's going to be all that difficult, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully, college kickers are bad. They're a meme. We need kicking to be tougher in this game, please. They've also added 20 different touchdown celebrations in this game, 4 interception celebrations, and 4 first down celebrations. When you have big plays, you can use the right stick to decide what you want to do, very similar to what's in Madden. And then victory formations. So if you have gotten that game-clinching first down, the CPU or the opposition has no timeouts, you now have the ability to just basically simulate that last little bit of the game. The players come on the field, they simulate the kneel downs, and it's all wrapped up. And that is the end of this article. And there is a lot of stuff to be excited about, I believe, for this game. And this has definitely cranked my excitement for this game up a bit. Seeing that everybody who's had their hands on it seems to have a positive impression, that the features brought to the game are promising features football fans have wanted for a long time. Hopefully when we get deeper dives into Road to Glory and Dynasty, that we have some impressive developments there as well. But as of right now, I am looking forward to spending a lot of time in this game. They've put, they haven't been putting this game out every year, so they don't have to do what it takes to produce a game every July. And I'm wondering if we're going to see a very different experience compared to the yearly releases of Madden, at least in this first iteration where it's been building up to this point. College Football 25, I believe, is only on the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, so it's also not going to be held back by previous generations. They can just focus on the latest consoles with more time. I'm wondering if this game's going to be a lot better than Madden, and we'll see. And we're only 46 days away from starting to find out for ourselves. Thank you all for watching this long video going through this information. I hope it was helpful. Let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments section. When they come out with more deep dives, I'll be covering Road to Glory and Dynasty in future videos. And I'm getting excited for this game, man. I've got to clear out some time to just focus on this game when it releases, because it's looking like a game that could be worth the wait. But that is going to do it for today, everybody. I appreciate your time. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for much more College Football 25 content to come. And I'll see you all next time. Have a great day, everybody.